They're attractive and interesting and provided me some insight into the culture. That said, dating in Ukraine is different than dating Slavic women in the United States. To answer tonight's poll question, I have no experience in dating a woman who is from another country. Well, Mark, time to, get that experience.
Paul, the one time I went, had two women I dated that really was only looking for my money, but I'm still hopeful.
Well, of course there are people like this, out there. There are like bad people on each end. There are not all guys that travel over there are sincere. Just have their motives in mind. And some are women, not necessarily the nicest people in the world. So we get that on both ends. But overall, majority people, there are bad people here, bad people there, but there are so many good people in the middle, and that's what we're here for, to help those people in the middle meet each other and be happy and create happy families.
Ferguson answered the poll question. I married my wife from Dallas, Philippines. Who I met through the site from a club tour. Yeah,
great.
Congratulations.
That's been probably couple of years you guys been married or something like that? A year? It's been a while, right? Poll question. I had dates with 3 Slavic women before going on AFA tour. One was from Slovenia, one from Minsk, whose father was in Red Army, and one from Bulgaria. They're attractive and interesting and provided me some insight into the culture. That said, dating in Ukraine is different than dating Slavic women in the United States. P.S. I need to communicate with Anna soon about your club. My experience with dating in Shenzhen was most of the Chinese girls were wanting to know all my personal details, including why I divorced and how that affected my net worth. That was a little insensitive. 2 of the ladies were a little more discreet and kept the date in a more romantic mood. Well, I can see why women want to know the reason for divorce. Technically, it makes sense because they're gonna be moving to foreign country for you, possibly, in the future. So they want to know what happened in your previous relationship and whether it will happen, it will affect her or will happen to her. It's important.
Yeah, maybe she's lower herself, and she wanna find out everything. Yeah, girls are really different. If you don't like girls, who talking like that or asking you right away, you should date with them. But it depends on the girl. Some girls are really romantic, ask you about your life and garden. Like I met my husband and first question, he said, I'll live in my own house, and I asked him, do you have a garden? Because I'm from St. Petersburg, and if we have our house, we have a garden right away. We grow vegetables there, we eat those vegetables. And he said, why do you need a garden? I go to store and I buy those things. So it depends on the girl, of course. Somebody want to know about garden, somebody want to know about divorce stuff.
But again, divorce is a little more practical than, the garden. Because again, it's not a good subject for a first date. I agree, for the first date it's really a little insensitive, and it's, invading somebody's privacy, I would say. It's really not the right question to ask on the first date. But at some point it is important to talk about it. I'm sure you would want to know her past relationship experiences. Because older we get, more baggage we all carry. And that's why older we get, harder it is to date, because we start projecting our fears and insecurities to the future relationship. So yeah, that's why we ask questions. it is complicated. When we're 16, we don't ask those questions. But when we're 30, 40, 50, 60, here's the baggage coming up, you know.
From Sean, internationally, I had 2 meetings with Kharkov women 31 and 35, fun dates, nice and non-materialistic girls. One was very attentive, the other didn't speak English well, so it made it a bit hard.
Yeah, it's always easier to communicate with someone who speaks, your language, for sure. But
if she doesn't speak English, it's something what you can change, What you cannot change is your feelings. If you feel something to the girl, so you shouldn't refuse her just because she doesn't speak English. She can learn. It's the easiest language for us Ukrainian and Russians to learn, because we always hear music, we learn it in the school, university, and we just never had a practice to talk, so it's not hard to learn language, especially when you live in a country when everybody speaks different foreign language.
Are you frustrated with your current dating options? Perhaps you should consider expanding your horizons. Interested? Learn more at
mymailorderbride.com.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Then click on the notice bell to get notified every time we add something new.